So I reiterate here, the bill is dead.
Long Hei Fa Choi! Hey, how you doing? Happy Chinese New Year!
You're the ox is happening.
Hey, how you doing? This is Ho Ho Hong Kong. I'm Andy Curtin. I'm here with my buddy Vivek.
He just went with the laughter. He just gave up.
Vivek something.
Yeah, Vivek blank.
Blankety blank.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You can check me out on line, Instagram at Andy Curtin, and everything else. I'm on there. Where do people find you?
Funny Vivek is what you want to type, and they'll autocorrect you for the rest.
And today we've got Tim Chan, Tim Chan. How you doing, man?
Everybody, I'm good.
How do people find you online? Where do they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and anything else, and the name is Chan Lock Tim. My full name.
Lock Tim.
Yeah, Chan Lock Tim.
Can you spell it out?
ChanLokTim.
There we go.
So we got you on today, Tim, to talk about Chinese New Year, what it means, how we're doing it. You don't celebrate.
I don't celebrate at all because I don't have a big family over here. So
where is your big family?
Not the 10 kids people family. So my family is only me, my brother, and my sister.
That's pretty big for China.
For China.
True,
yeah.
I mean, I'm Catholic, dude.
Punishment.
I'm Catholic. It's like if you have less than 10, they think maybe you got problems. You know?
Yeah, like why? Why did you stop? Do you not love life?
But usually because my mother is not here now because she's passed away.
She passed away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that, man.
This is okay. And then we will not celebrate in the first few days, and then maybe the next week I will go to the mother's family.
Yeah.
To celebrate it, to have a meal with them, and then my brother have his family, and my sister also have her family. So
because they're married.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what it is for my family as well now, because I've got they don't even celebrate Christmas, like they do 1 year on, 1 year off. So everyone's like
1 year on, 1 year off.
Because they'll go with the other family.
Oh, I get it. I was like, this year is the odd year, so we don't celebrate Christmas.
Well, no, you celebrate with your wife's family or whatever. Because I got brothers and they got wives and all of that.
Yeah, it makes sense. I was just like the whole 1 year on, 1 year off kind of odd.
We're saving money, you know?
Yeah, like,
Christmas is expensive.
Yeah, let's skip this one. Yeah, it's been a bad year.
I can even go back. God, yeah. But before we get into this, I just wanted to flag that I'm sitting with the two giants of Cantonese stand-up comedy.
Yeah, actually, interesting. Now that you pointed it out, I agree.
This is like 99% of the revenue generation.
Yeah.
Definitely.
In English lesson in Hong Kong, we are taught this one phrase that saves us in every discussion is, yes, I agree with you. Which basically, when we have nothing else better to say, we just go, yes, I agree with you. And you continue.
That's funny, dude. When I was learning to speak Russian, I learned how to say, yes, I agree with you. And when I would go talk to my wife's family, I'd just sit there and say that. And you could use it 4 or 5 times before you end up agreeing to something that you weren't supposed to agree to. And they're looking at you like, really?
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Yeah. Even if you disagree, you still kind of win brownie points. So that's still a good thing. They're like, I like this guy. He likes everything we seem to like. Yeah, yes, I agree with that.
But we also always said, yes, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my God, yes.
Man, even
no, what have you told me? You do that all the time.
Oh God, that's true. No, I'm just kidding. No, another thing that these guys have caught, like Tim likes to catch, I say, trust me. Trust me. Just trust me. Just
I can
do
see
what
that.
I say. Just trust me. Okay? So yeah, so you see, now I want to clarify something. You notice how Tim is English is clearly a second language, yet he's catching me on my English words.
Tim's a dark horse.
Yeah.
I think Tim uses the accent to buy time to think. So he's like a snake. He comes in and some sharp comment.
My advantage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I want you guys to tell the story of how you started stand-up, because it's amazing.
Yeah,
Vivek was telling me earlier.
So Tim, how did stand-up comedy start for you?
Because at the beginning, when I was small, when I was
That's what she
very
said.
very small, I was very shy and not very talkative. But I want to have more friends, so I discovered I will use 1 or 2 sentences to make people laugh and this is the main reaction. The main reaction I can get, and I can get the friendship with any relationship.
So
over
you
there.
were always trying to be funny.
Yeah. I always want to try to be funny
For
when I
friends,
was
yeah.
small. Yeah, and then when I was in high school, in university, and there is a comedy competition. Yeah, and then I joined it, and I win the competition because I'm the only one.
Strategy number 101.
Why did they run the competition with one person?
I don't know. Is it about the promotion or Hong Kong people don't want to go?
Dude,
on
that's
stage
so
and-
funny.
Yeah.
And he was there, right?
Yeah, he was there, and we was there.
I was a
and
guest
to
or
be
judge?
a guest. Yeah,
A guest,
guest
okay,
speaker.
yeah.
How many years ago are we talking?
Oh, this is like what 10?
Yeah,
10 years ago.
So
But
you
they
were
are-
pretty early on in the comedy journey at that point.
Yeah, maybe like this is my 13. Yeah, so 3 years into it, 2 or 3 years
Oh
into
yeah,
it.
yeah. But they were angry about me.
About you.
Yeah, because I have so many prize.
Oh yeah,
I
and
have
like,
some
Are you
T-shirt
wa-
and coupon, and they get nothing.
They
Yeah.
give you some flowers.
Just a flat.
yeah. So the difference is Tim joins the competition, wins it, gets T-shirts, gets all these goodies. I joined the competition a few years ago, a different one, and I get a little trophy, and that's it. They're like, yeah, go. I'm like, but no
Which
T-shirt.
competition was that?
The Takeout Comedy, the
and
comedy
that was
festival.
legitimately had other people competing.
That was like, yeah, that had like a full lineup of people competing. And oddly enough, when I did the first year with English and Cantonese, I only won Cantonese.
you won, but you didn't win the English.
2007 Cantonese, 2008 I got the English.
Look at
I
you.
was funnier in the Cantonese apparently. Yeah.
Who was doing comedy back then? Did they have a lot of people in the English competition?
English, they had like I remember it was there's preliminaries and stuff like that. I remember they had 2 rounds of that and then the finals. So I think maybe like 20 something people there.
Damn.
20, but everyone just knew, trying to figure themselves out. Like, well, how do we do this? How does the mic work?
I'm still at that point.
I think we all still are. We just don't get trophies for it when we do figure it out.
No one cares anymore. I was thinking the other day, like I was working on this bit about how like telling people how long you've been doing comedy is the opposite to telling them how long you've been sober.
Yeah. They're
'Cause you're like, I've been doing
Comedy
comedy
for
a
how long?
month. People like, great job.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been sober for a month. They're like, you loser.
Whatever. Yeah, I could do that.
Now it's like you've been sober for 10 years. They're like, yeah, man, you got this. You're like
Yeah.
doing comedy for 10 years. They're like, whoop.
Yeah, and I can still talk to you without a bodyguard.
Yeah. Maybe you should try drinking.
Yeah, that would help. So Tim joined the competition. He won it, and then I met him.
How much? How good
2011.
was that first set? How good was it? Did you like it?
Oh, this is about. I was in a gym room, and then I
Oh.
got naked in a sauna room. Yeah.
That was
you,
his
you
bit.
heard that bit, right?
Yeah, it's a funny bit. You,
This is
you
the
still
first
got
bit,
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's his first classic bit that he did in a university among students.
So were you just like, oh, I got to do more of this?
Yeah. I'm
You
a
liked
genius.
it?
Yeah. So you once you tried comedy, you went on, you enjoyed it, and then we talked, and then how did we start doing shows together? Do you remember?
As I remember, I went to a writing session in a
yes.
coffee shop with you.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, whoa, how is a famous star have a writing session in a coffee shop? Well, that's so cheap.
See, marketing is very good. My publicity is fantastic. My
But you
reality,
just had to like make the scene.
You could say that because like the Cantonese group was kind of close.
Still is now.
It still is, yeah. And so back then it was just us, and we were learning as we were going. So we had writing sessions where we'd actually have like homework.
Yeah.
We'd have like workbooks and exercises.
Oh my
we would
god, you
do.
guys are so fucking Chinese.
I know, right? So we would actually go to the coffee shop. Everyone would kind of pitch in and be like, hey, you get the coffee. I don't want to get the coffee. You get the coffee.
Who's
Yeah.
paying?
Yeah, everyone on their own, but we're hoping that new kid on the block is kind of peer pressured into, I better get a coffee. He's like, yeah, you get a coffee.
Wait, did they ever buy a coffee for everyone or buy at least one coffee to justify taking a table?
Yeah. You think I wanted to work with Tim? No, I wanted that coffee to be paid by someone else. Unfortunately, he stayed. I'm like, he's still here.
Got to bring in some of that competition money.
Exactly, right? You win a t-shirt, you sell it. So yeah, then writing session we started, and then from shows there.
and then the 2011 I went to open mic. Wow, the first time I went to the open mic, I see Jamie.
Jamie Gong from Takeout Comedy.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
He brings the dog to bite me.
Oh yeah. So back then, Jamie in his basement, he would have his dog Lucky, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
Lucky, yeah.
And
Ironically named dog.
she, yeah, exactly.
Fuck it.
So oddly enough,
Keep talking.
yeah.
Okay, welcome, come.
Yeah, she's very nice to Jamie and nobody else. You know? So here you are for the first time going to a comedy club. You got Jamie, the owner.
So the
down
dog is
there
the
with
opposite of everybody else.
Exactly. Yeah. Just barking at you, and Jamie's like, "Come on down." You're like, "I'm really nervous for my comedy. Why do you have a dog? I don't need this."
That's amazing.
So yeah, it was really bizarre. It was really raw back then. Open mic nights was like we would put the chairs ourselves. You know, we would just have it, turn on the lights and stuff like that, and just go for it, and then see what happened. And very often it was just us, right?
Yeah.
Very often the Cantonese, because Cantonese open mic was on Monday nights. I remember, and that was like
every Monday night.
That was tough, man.
You know, dude, I remember watching the Mandarin scene start, and it was like what you guys are at now, where it's just like a few people can see how great it will be, and they're just investing. They're just willing to do anything to try and get it going.
Yeah.
And then over there, at some point, a company just came in with money and was like, "We'll pay all of you."
Yeah.
And we'll make a TV show. And
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, people that did open mics at the club in Shanghai, they did a show in October, went on sale. They sold 19,000 tickets in 2 minutes.
Ooh.
Ironically, I mean,
They were doing open mics in Shanghai like
cool.
a couple of years ago.
we need more people. Everyone have kids.
But the potential's there.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you
definitely.
guys are going to make it happen.
Oh, well, I mean, honestly, in many aspects, we've kind of made a lot of progress, even in Hong Kong.
for
like,
sure.
Like, for example, first of all, people know of stand-up comedy. Like, in Hong Kong, the challenge is, like, with comedy is that people only know either the big names or nobody.
And they're not really doing stand-up, right?
It's a very weird twist. Like, there's one like Deo Wong, you could say is stand-up, but it's his form of stand-up, as in 2 hours, big theater show, and it's like, once every 2 years sort of deal. But what we're trying to aim for is that more, raw kind of...
Saying grassroots.
Yeah, grassroots type, where it's more inviting to anybody. Open mic nights. I mean, the concept of open mic night before, we had to keep trying to convince people that just come to an open mic. They're like, so why don't you call me when your jokes are ready? I'm like, we need you to make our jokes ready.
Yeah. You're part of the process, you idiot.
Yeah, exactly. You get to see the whole work in progress. It's a lot of fun. They're like, no, I want to see the final product. And it's really hard. The culture was not there yet. People knew of it, but not enough of it to appreciate it.
Dude, I remember the being at this like turning point in Shanghai when it went from like scrapping. We'd be lucky to have like 3 people at an open mic, and suddenly like every open mic was full. Every open mic. And then suddenly I remember being in like we'd be in the second floor of a bookstore, and you couldn't even get up the stairs. People were sitting in the stairwell just listening because they couldn't even get into the room. And then there was this Wednesday night open mic. So we would have a Wednesday night at Kung Fu Comedy at 8:30 in English, and there was a 7:30 in Chinese, and they had 250 people every week for open mic. Every week. And it was like, we would go and we're testing out jokes in front of 250 people.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, and I'm in a second language. Like I'm frequently what I'm saying doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
It's just grammatically.
Yeah.
It's because of the TV show.
That was a big part of it. Yeah, because the what they knew was that they were like, we're going to get at least a few of them famous. Because if the people know there's a few famous people on it, they'll come for those guys.
Yeah.
And then everybody else gets a show.
Yeah.
Right? So like the host is one of the contestants on this show called Barling Ho Talker Show. And it just clicked. But they've got their own problems with censorship.
Oddly
and
enough, that's
stuff.
actually what the Chinese Cantonese scene was like in Hong Kong. People were coming to see me, but Tim was there, so they got to see me.
Well, that turned around at some point.
Like, this sounds familiar. Hold on a second. No, so then we started doing shows, and every now and then we'd have like a Cantonese show. And honestly, I remember back then it would just be a few of us doing Cantonese shows, and we were all the way down to like we would be actually playing with the mixers, trying to get the sound right.
Oh, bro. Yeah.
All that stuff. So it was a really interesting journey until we got to the point that we were mature enough to say, let's just do our own shows now. Why are we just hoping bars and restaurants will give us a chance? Let's just say this is a show and go to people. Hey, do you want this? We could actually bring a show to your venue, and we did a whole string of shows there as well.
Plus, with social media, I mean, you guys both got pretty good followings now.
Yeah. So that as well. That helped a lot. And honestly, I think the one interesting thing in Hong Kong is that the traction is basically really slow in the beginning. But once you get one or two things catching their attention, all right, there we go. Then everyone's like, what is this? What is this? Have you not been to that?
That's exactly how it was up in Shanghai, for sure, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. So
people was like, they're like, why would we want to go? And then when it was cool, it was like everybody wanted to be there.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's also very Hong Kong people. Only see the best and don't. Oh, if
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
famous, I don't want to see
Yeah, I
you.
only wanted the top. I only
Yeah.
wanted the most famous. And
Yeah.
the funny thing is actually, it was a lot of our videos we put online and us going to different venues and just doing shows and making people go like, whoa, this is different. And it was also new for us because we would go to these different random places, some restaurant in, let's say, remember, we did that show in Mongkok where everyone was dressed up like Lolita, the doll, the Japanese.
Maid
Maid
restaurant.
cafe, yeah.
Oh my
Maid
God.
cafe, yeah.
We did that, man. We
Where?
did a maid cafe in Mongkok.
They have a maid cafe
yeah,
in
the
Mongkok?
Japanese maid cafes, those kinds of things.
I've been to the one in Tokyo.
Yeah. So similar. They've got stuff like that in Mongkok, and we've actually done shows there. Where we're like, I cannot believe, like,
Dude,
we're-
I did Mandarin at like 3 in the afternoon
Yeah.
for government officials between their meetings. And we got marched into we're sitting in a friggin' Communist Party building.
Yeah.
And they're like, these guys didn't realize it was entertainment. They were taking notes. They're in suits. It's 3 in the afternoon. And I'm like, yeah, men and women are a little bit different. And they're like, men, women, different. And
yeah.
and I've done this. There was the first promoter that ever ran shows in Mandarin. He would book anything. We were doing nursing homes. I did a nursing home at 1 p.m. I was about to go on stage. I was like, hey, man, I have some English in my set, just some random words. Are they going to know it? And he goes, mate, these people don't speak Mandarin. They speak Shanghainese.
Yeah, so you're just up there visually entertaining.
And I
them.
literally got in front of a room of people, just like as I was walking on stage, I found out that I spoke no language that these people understand.
They're just looking at you going like, oh.
You know what I did? I started singing in Shanghainese. The only thing I knew.
Yeah.
And this is not a word of a lie. I went to fist bump someone in the front row.
Yeah.
They didn't have an arm.
Oh my god!
It was like a 90-year-old woman. She had no arm.
You're like, oh, God.
She put her elbow up for a fist bump.
Whoa, way ahead of COVID times, man.
I was like, this is ghetto.
This is ghetto. You're like, okay. Don't want to know where that went. Don't want to know what happened to your hand, man.
She's definitely not alive anymore.
I don't know. Man.
Yeah, they lived for a while up there.
Yeah, true, exactly. So Tim, do you remember what made you change from Cantonese or take your first steps into English? Like, what's ironic?
Because you
now?
crush English.
Yeah. So Tim actually has a very interesting story about his English, like how you in school's English compared to like what you're doing now, and what made you suddenly have the courage to do.
Because I remember one time I have cyberbullying, right? You remember
cyber-
that?
yeah.
Because I put a bit online in Cantonese, and then so many people attack me. Oh, this very.
Oh, dude, that was intense.
Yeah, impolite for the.
What the joke is
fan
basically not right. It's
community.
wrong.
Yeah.
He
It's
basically
wrong, and then.
the I'll give you the gist. Is like it's just a joke about the Hong Kong bands and bands in general,
Yeah.
right? Related to Hong Kong bands and stuff like that. And people just didn't take it well. So then they were just like giving hate messages, hate mails.
What was your
Yeah.
takeaway
So-
from that experience?
What did you learn from it?
I need to stand by myself.
You need
I
to-
know.
you need to stand- you need to
support-
see
support
the whole
yourself,
thing.
right? Yeah.
I need to see the whole thing and know when I write a script, I need to think about more opinion about other points, and then this is the point I learned, and then after that I know I need to know how to deal with other people. Yeah, if someone attack me, I need to recognize not a haters at all first. In the first place, I just think, oh, is it reasonable? I need to explain to him or her something like that.
I just never reply. Do you? You must get some.
I get,
sometimes.
yeah. I get.
Nowadays I don't apply.
Yeah.
I just
mean,
never
I-
reply.
I think you learn over time. Like there were many times for myself as well. I would actually get like Indian people coming up to me and complaining. They're like,
Yeah.
"Why are you making fun of this? We shouldn't do that." I'm like, then don't laugh. I don't know. Like I don't know what to say anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and then at that point I reflect myself. I want more stage time for me. Yeah, I want more practice.
That is such a comic right there.
Yeah.
I will do another language
Yeah.
just to get more stage time.
Yeah. It was like Cantonese open mic was once every 2 weeks,
Yeah, once
and
every 2
English was like
weeks.
every
Yeah.
week.
So I start to do the English.
How long you been doing- how long you been
my Chinese bit in English?
How long you been doing English for?
Maybe 1-2 years now.
Amazing,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, like because you are one of the toughest people to follow
Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
in English. Dude, when he hits, it's
Yeah.
like oh boy.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I'm gonna go up there and just be normal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's the thing. What Tim said is right, and a lot of his English bits are actually translated in Cantonese, which brings another challenge. How can you translate the joke that's in this language into this other language, and still have the correct flow of punchlines? And
Well, I
everything?
also feel like some of the connections that people draw, they change.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you think of the connections in your native language, like I would think of connections in English, and then I would say them in Chinese, and then people were like, oh, we don't see those things as being
exactly, yeah.
similar or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it hard to write jokes in English?
I think the punchline I don't worry about. I just worry about the English, how to translate is the grammar is correct, the word is correct.
But it's
something like that.
important.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah, because the most important thing is everybody should understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, first before trying to make it funny. This is how good he is. He's not worried about punchlines, Andy.
I know I'm funny.
Yeah, I just gotta make sure you know I'm funny.
Because in Chinese I know that the punchline is strong enough, and then I just need to translate it in English.
Well, so you have tested it, is the point.
Yeah. I tested it.
Yeah, I used to find I would be like, why isn't this joke working? And someone would come up and be like, you are saying the wrong word.
Yeah, you're like, oh, no wonder the reference is not that.
No,
Thank
but
you.
if you are team,
Yeah.
everywhere is wrong. So
Yeah.
Well, you know, another thing is
So I
like,
forgive
if I
you.
say the wrong word or my grammar is wrong, people would laugh at that.
Yeah.
And then the other comics would be like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, it's not fair. Yeah, that's not fair. You made a mistake and they're happy about that. Yeah, I'm gonna go up there and
Like,
speak
they're like,
wrong.
I have to write jokes. This guy just says the wrong word.
It's so unfair, right? I tell you, man. It's a bizarre thing. Like, we're all kind of doing this weird twist where, like, Tim's killing, like, in English shows. I'm, like, doing well in Cantonese shows. And I think the audience appreciates the fact that, you know, like, that's not your first language. But I also find, like, I'm sure after
It helps
a
your
while-
likability.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, after a while, do you find, like, with your English shows that you want to start writing just for English shows, or do you think?
Yeah. Sometimes I will, and then some bits is only work in English, as I know.
Yeah.
Like I have a bit about Guido beer. Yeah, the Guido beer, because I think it's weird. It's about Guido. It's kind of racist, something like that. And so stupid. This concept is stupid. So it's very strong in English.
Yeah.
But in Cantonese, I said, what?
Yeah, okay,
What
so.
was it?
I think for foreign expats, it's because it's the only word they know in
Yeah.
Cantonese.
Like, I'm laughing at a Cantonese word. I know. This is the best.
I get this joke.
Oh, so local. Yeah. So, and that bit, Tim put it online, right? The Guilo.
Yeah,
bit?
the Guido beer. Yeah.
You had a
also-
few bits that crushed online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another interesting thing, is that the journey I've enjoyed with Tim as well. Like, we've also been able to travel around doing shows.
Oh, you guys went to Melbourne.
We
Yeah,
went
yeah.
to Melbourne to do the
The
only
best city on earth.
Says the guy from Melbourne who's not ill Melbourne. All right. So, yeah, we did the only Cantonese show during the festival. And Melbourne Comedy Festival liked it so much that they were like, dude, if you want to do this every year, we're down. I'm like, could you pay for it? They're like, no. I'm like, it doesn't work that way.
That's great.
No, but Tim, do you remember like some of the craziest shows we've done together, or you've done in comedy?
In comedy the whole life.
Yeah.
The craziest. I just remember one time my mic is wireless mic.
Stopped working.
Yeah,
No,
it stopped
the
working.
music, right?
No,
stopped
the
working?
mic. The
Yeah,
mic
yeah.
stopped working.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then it jammed it in another mic. The mic is in karaoke.
Yeah.
Who is singing in the next room?
So it switched. So it was wireless mics. I remember I was
No.
there. Yeah, dude.
Wait, the speakers started playing the karaoke.
Yeah.
That is so good. That is amazing.
Was it at Angelo's?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I remember now. Yeah, I was there. I remember now.
Did you
So
just
after
pretend
that-
it was you singing?
So after that, we don't use wireless.
Oh,
mic.
wireless are the worst.
Yeah, the-
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a crazy, because we used to do shows at Fat Angelo's in Shimside Choi, right? Every Thursday night. And some nights, you know, we'd be like packed. Like, oh my God, the whole room's packed. Some nights you're like, there's one audience. Okay.
Been there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And the journey's gone from those shows to shows where we set it up ourselves. Like, you will actually see me and Tim going to venues and lining up the wires and cables.
I
And
mean, you guys were doing the stuff at the Riff.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, you know, and over there was like another game. We walked in, we're like, I don't have to plug anything in. What do I do for the hour that I came early for? You know?
I'm glad I could build that so we could get 15 shows out of it.
Yeah, you. Oh man, that was another blessing. I'm telling you, like, the crazy thing I remember with you, Tim, and myself was when we did the Cantonese show in Melbourne. That was like really nerve-wracking / we basically put it this way. Like, I think the one thing I appreciate most about
Did
Tim
it
is
sell?
yes, we sold out.
Didn't we do the same room one year, you and me?
Yes, at the Chinese theater.
Yeah, the top floor.
Yes. You
Like,
were
I
doing-
think we did the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Was that a Cantonese show?
Correct, yeah. First two was you.
Oh,
and
so we were in the
second two was
same
us.
room. So me and Storm did 2 weeks in
Yes.
English in that.
Oh yeah.
The top floor of the. That was a good room.
That was a
except
good
the
room.
fucking AC. Remember the
Yeah, right.
AC?
Yeah,
That big
dude.
thing across the top of the
Yeah,
room.
Yeah, that one. And then the second year we came back, we went to the room underneath that room that we did.
Is that good?
No, because you hear footsteps of people leaving the previous show.
Oh no.
So halfway through your show, you're like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Oh, there we go. They're marching. Right?
15 minutes left.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that means halfway through the show, guys. So that's the thing. Like, Tim, how many like of those weird shows have we done where we've gone to different places? Like, let's say old people's home. We've done together, right? We've done elderly homes as well. Lo and Yun.
Tim.
No, I didn't do that.
Maybe it was a different
I
guy,
didn't do that.
different Tim.
They all look the same to me.
You just with Martina and Daniel.
Yes, that was Martina. It was a completely
Yeah.
different gender as well.
Daniel. You know Daniel started in Shanghai.
No.
Yeah, dude. He did English open mic
Really?
like 9 years ago in
I know.
Shanghai. Maybe like
he
8
did
years
it for
ago.
a while, but
Yeah,
not
yeah.
start in Shanghai. I think
He
Start
didn't
in Hong
start. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think
here, right?
he was there and he came
No,
down
dude, 'cause-
here.
Okay, so Daniel was my classmate in university.
Ah.
Yeah, so I knew him from back then, and I actually did a radio show on in City University with him, where we were just basically the whole show was talking about just nonsense. We were just challenging, can we keep this on air, and how long can we keep doing this ridiculous thing? And the university allowed it. So
Wow.
I knew him, and I was like, Daniel, you would be so good for comedy. Like, you were so good for comedy. And what happened was he bumped into me 1 week before my first one-man Cantonese show in Hong Kong. He was with somebody, and I told him, like, dude, come to my show. And gave him 2 tickets. He came to the show, and he was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And he went to open mic night, I think, and he got the taste of comedy. And then he'd been doing that in Shanghai.
Okay,
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
went up to Shanghai for a little while and I guess came back.
Yeah. Daniel's one of these interesting people where you can never contact him. yeah.
So he's like women.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No. The difference is, even if you're hot, you can contact him. It's not like women only.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah. So Tim, coming back to Chinese New Year, okay, I'm really fascinated because like the differences in Hong Kong Chinese New Year, right? So we have all these different traditions and habits and stuff like that. And what we like to do is we like to do shows during Chinese New Year. Cantonese
Yeah.
comedy shows. Can you talk more about our shows we like
Yeah,
to do?
because it's in the third day of
third day.
the Chinese New Year. The third day is we will not go out to celebrate any Chinese New Year because on that day this is called 赤口 in Chinese, and then nobody people.
Was it the money god day?
No.
No,
This
no.
is the one where you make arguments all the time. By the
Yeah,
third day,
yeah,
you
make
hate everyone,
arguments
right?
all the time.
Yeah.
Is this a joke or is it a
This
real
is real.
thing?
Check how it means like
Yeah.
you're gonna say something wrong.
Are you
So-
for real?
Yeah, the third day
Yeah.
is recommended you don't visit anybody because you're probably gonna piss someone off. You know, they've probably seen you too long and stuff like that. So you
Yeah.
actually keep to yourself.
So it's very suitable for our comedy show.
Actually, what we do every year.
Do you market it as this,
Yes.
the say something wrong day show?
Yeah. We actually do we actually tell people like you're gonna say something wrong, so leave that responsibility to us.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So if you are angry, just take the money and throw it to me. Shut
Yeah.
up! Shut up!
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
man,
yeah.
that's what a perfect marketing
Yeah,
opportunity.
exactly. So we started doing shows like that Chinese New Year, and the funny thing is that we would actually remind the audience that it is for their benefit to give us lychee packets.
Yeah.
You know, like it is for their good fortune for the rest of the year. to
So
give us-
lychee packets, for people who don't know, is the red envelope with money in it.
yes,
Like-
preferably large sums.
Yeah.
Preferably large sums to show respect.
And so what is like a normal Chinese New Year involve for a Hong Kong person?
In fact, in the
Like what's a normal schedule for Chinese New Year?
the schedule? In the first day of Chinese New Year, we cannot get wet in your hair. You cannot wash your hair, and then you need to wear everything is red, and then everything must be new clothes, new shoes, something like that.
New set.
Yeah,
You
new
said,
jokes.
yeah,
New bit.
new girlfriend or something. New wife or anyway. And then this is the schedule in the first 2 days, I think.
First 2 days.
Yeah. And then the third day we don't celebrate at all. And then the fourth day, and then until maybe in China, maybe the whole month.
Yeah, I mean, it's normally like 10 days in mainland
Yeah.
China. And God, it goes on and on and on and on.
It's a weird feeling, right? Everything's just like kind of shut down. You're like, oh, you better do what you need to do one day before Chinese New Year because you got to wait.
Well, so I was dealing with something with factories in mainland China, right? So on January 20, the government made an announcement that anyone that leaves before January 28 will not have to be quarantined.
Wow.
And so all the
Oh.
factories, they just ran out the door.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. It's the biggest migration on Earth.
Yeah.
And people need to get home. They need to get back to their families. And so all these factory workers were like, they just dropped their tools and they
Yeah.
ran out. And already by like the next few days after that, certain cities had already been shut down. You can't travel in mainland China now unless you have a valid COVID test from the last 7 days, which for most people is too hard to get
Yeah.
for like migrant workers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just carnage over there. But I think one of the big differences between mainland China and Hong Kong is the migration home. Because so many people don't live where their family lives, right?
Yeah.
They've got to get home, and that is an ordeal
Yeah.
to even get there.
Yeah, with Hong Kong, you just step out your room. You're like, I'm back home again.
Yeah, right? Well, you already
Yeah.
live with your parents. So.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So therefore, you're like, done.
And the other thing is, like, it's changed now, but when it used to be fireworks, like, the day before it started, there'd be a firework going off every hour. And then the next day, every half hour. And the next day, every 20 minutes. And by Chinese New Year, you've had constant fireworks for, like, a few days at that
Yeah.
point. And then the Money God Day,
Yeah.
that's
the
when they
big one.
brought out the real fireworks.
Yeah.
That was like, well, I lived on the 29th floor at one point, and people would set off these like atomic fireworks that would explode at our windows, like at the level of our windows.
Yeah.
All day.
Man.
It was insane. I just can't even tell you. Like you would go out, we'd get on the top of a building, and it was surreal. It was like CGI.
Yeah.
The first Chinese New Year I had in Shanghai, I flew home, and the plane was taking off, and I was like rubbing my eyes. I looked out the window of the plane, and the whole the land as far as I could see was just colors shooting out everywhere. It was like a screensaver.
No wonder the pollution.
Oh, the city was covered in smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, covered in smoke.
I can imagine, dude. Like
Yeah.
nonstop
No.
fireworks.
For like the whole Chinese New Year was just a cloud of
Yeah.
like, fireworks.
I guess it keeps arguments away. You can't see who you're arguing with. You're like, where did you leave? Whatever. Let it go.
Yeah. It was intense. I was in a building one time, and some Americans were trying to let off fireworks. They lit the building on fire. Like a 40-story building.
Yeah. Fire doesn't work.
It fell. The firework fell and landed on like a what do you call it? Like an awning. And the awning caught on fire, and then the side of the building caught on fire.
Crazy.
And the fire trucks and everything, like downtown Shanghai. And let me tell you something. That sign that says "Don't use the lift in the
During
case of
fire,
fire,"
yeah.
nobody listens to that.
Yeah,
We're like, get the
yeah.
fucking lift.
Yeah.
I need to go down fast.
Someone actually told me, the reason they tell you not to take the lift is not because it's dangerous. It's because they want to reserve it for the firefighters. I was like,
Oh,
no,
dude,
no,
I'm
no,
glad
no,
you told me that. I'm definitely using it.
Yeah, I'm like, no, dude. I'm in the building. You guys can run up. Okay.
Also, they're not coming down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fine. Dude.
I'm bringing the lift to them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm like, let me get down, dude. Yeah.
Is that real?
That's what I remember asking them, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, yeah, that's why. I'm like, that is so selfish.
That is
I'm about to
wild.
burn to death, and you're like,
Dude,
I don't
that
want
is
to run
a
up.
straight up conspiracy right there.
Probably somewhere, man. Someone probably put it together, man.
So what
Yeah.
about you? What's it like for you? What's
So-
Chinese New Year for you,
So
you and your
Chinese New Year
family?
for me is usually the battle of the licey packets, as in like who do I visit in the right time and impress them with my perfect Cantonese phrase of "Gong hei fa choi" and get double the packets. That's number one. So when I was young, I used to love going to my friends' houses. Like I would actually call them like, "Hey man, hey, long time no see.
You want to hang out?
Yeah, you want to hang out?" They're like, "We were at school yesterday." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's been a while, you know." And so I'd go to their house and stuff like that. Now,
What age are you talking?
I'm talking about primary school, so maybe like 10 years old.
And you're collecting cash from your friends' parents?
I am Indian.
This is a hustler right
This
there.
is the way I do it, man. I'm like, you're never too early to start.
This
man.
is why there's a comedy scene here.
exactly
Because of that
Yeah.
attitude.
So the funny thing is, actually, I tell people the biggest thing I have every year is the building guard lycée thing that I love doing. All right, because I go down to my building guard every single year. I love doing this. I go up to him. I give him a nice, happy pack of lycée, red packet, and I tell him, make sure that if there's a robber, they don't come to my floor. Okay? Anyone else, open these packets, compare the amount, and you go with that priority, all right? So whoever
That's your security fee for the year.
Exactly. That's your extra, like, hey, just letting you know. I don't want to have no problems. Yeah, that kind of thing, So that's number one. And number two, actually, with thanks to Tim and Martina, all these guys have started. They like to call me the boss, the losai.
Yeah.
Right? And
Oh, here we go.
leader.
Does he
The
make
leader?
you call him that?
Yeah, only on that day.
you know why I make them call me that? Because every time we have that show on the third day, they know they can come up to me like, hey, kung e
Right, you get the money on the third day, right?
And then for the rest of the day, hey, Losai, hey, boss. Like, you
my
piece of
lovely
shit.
boss.
Yeah, exactly.
On the fourth day, you're like, hey, it's me, boss. They're like, shut up.
Exactly. Like, we open the packet. There's no boss involved in this. So the funny thing, I actually really very much enjoyed those two parts of Chinese New Year, just because I like that whole thing of like, for the first time in Hong Kong, you have people wanting to give you money more than not giving it to you. They're like, oh, I want to give you a packet. I want to give you a packet kind of thing. However, I like the traditions of having that meal together, but also not just the normal, like the pun choy. That
And your family
Yeah.
does that?
not really, which is why I go to my friends.
That's your favorite part, is the part that you don't do?
Because it requires me to go to someone else's house for it. You get it?
Right.
And hence the
Yeah.
investment of Kung Hei Fa Choy.
And
Oh!
you eat like a king.
There we go, right? And no one's going to tell you to stop eating that. Now, so I very much enjoy those parts of it. The whole gathering, the whole, lycée packets and stuff like that. And I do enjoy the shows as well that we do. But Chinese New Year for me has always just basically been shut down. Like, basically, for those few days.
Just a public holiday.
It's just a public holiday, but also it's like for these holidays, I have every single right to not do anything because nothing's working. Right? Everyone's shut down, so I can literally stop and be like, I have no guilt in not dealing with this right now. So that used to be my thing, where like these 2 days or 3 days, it's like I just don't want to deal with nothing or nobody.
Because you
Only-
work hard.
I would say so. Yeah, I would feel that way. But then those are the days that I kind of feel like even if I wanted to do something, I can't because everything's closed. So I can't help you. I'm sorry.
So what's your family holiday?
My family holiday, honestly, my family was never very traditional. We had Indian New Year like Diwali, which is kind of similar to Chinese New Year, but that happens in September and October time. But we were never that heavy on like, oh, we have to visit all the family. Lucky for me, like back when I was with the family and stuff, my grandmom was there, and she being so old, people would come visit us. So I was banking on the fact that she was the older one. So I'm like, we're not coming to you. You better come to us, right? But then after that, it was never a big tradition for myself. So I actually had more fun Chinese New Year in Hong Kong because it was friends and everything. More of the festivities are happening. With Indian New Year, I'll meet one or two family members, and that's about it. Yeah, yourself? What do you do for Chinese New Year?
It's just a holiday. Like, we don't have anything. Like, Christmas is our big thing. But I'll say this. I think that Chinese do New Year better than we do Christmas.
Oh,
But then also for me, Christmas for Russians is New Year's Eve.
okay.
Yeah, I used to say to my wife, I'm like, that's your Christmas. She's like, no, it's not. I was like, okay, well, let's look at the facts. Number one, you eat dinner with your family. Number two, you give each other presents. And number three, a guy named Father Frost brings presents for the kids. It sounds a little bit like Christmas.
Yeah, you're like, okay,
She's
yeah,
like, no, it is different.
You're like, fine. You tell yourself.
So we
whatever you
do. Actually, that's for my own family with kids. That's kind of like the big one for us. But we do Christmas as well and Easter. But I think Chinese New Year is such a great it's just such a big ordeal.
Yeah.
Like I'm jealous. Like you guys.
Honestly, what I really like about Chinese New Year is also the companies and stuff have that, the annual dinner and all
Yeah,
the
they get a
parties.
dance.
Yeah.
The big thing.
Take a big focus away
I've
from.
actually done a gig for a company where I would be teaching about Chinese New Year, not teaching, but more like joking about Chinese New Year to their staff who are, let's say, overseas staff that just come to Hong Kong for the first year. And the funny thing is, after I did that whole little part, I actually had to dress up as the money god and give out money to their staff.
Not your money. That's a
not
bad.
my money. That's all that
that's a
matters.
bad gig.
Because if it was my money, it'd be just chocolate gold coins. That's about the best I would afford, right? The funny thing is that I actually learned a lot about Chinese New Year. Like, for example, why is it that we have all these fireworks and loud noises and stuff? It's because they have that the monster Nian, and so they were trying to scare that monster Nian away. So Nian, I think, is lean. So basically, year. That's the name of the monster, right? And so it was funny because I remember I was doing that whole presentation talking about how Chinese New Year and stuff like that. And I was like, but we don't have to worry about that now because we have immigration. So, yeah, it ain't coming anywhere close, right? And the other thing is that...
the dragon can't get a visa now.
There you go. Right? If you have a B&O dragon, sorry, not coming in. So that's one. And the other thing I learned as well is that Chinese New Year apparently lasts for up to like 15 days, like completely. And I was like, this is a perfect time for you to tell your boss that you're super traditional. And you're like, I'm so traditional. I can't come to work the next 15 days. I have to be at home to celebrate my festivities and stuff like that. So it was really weird where I would be there talking about the stuff and learning about the stuff and joking about the stuff. And then I was like, this is fascinating. I love this whole concept of going to people's houses and gambling, encouraging the kids to use their lycée money to gamble away. And I'm like, this is the best. These few days, anything goes practically, which is why we were like, why don't we just do comedy shows now? And we're doing it. And even this year, we're not letting it stop.
What's a great Chinese New Year for you? What does it involve?
The great Chinese New Year.
Yeah, what's a good one? Like, what's the best one?
The best thing surely is get the lycée. but in the whole world, all Chinese also, when we get the lycée, we also need to give the present to them. Yeah, the whole family. Like biscuits, something like that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so it's very standard. I mean, like, so let me ask you this: who last year gave you the biggest lycée packet?
Oh, maybe Westphal.
That's right. I wanted him to say that.
Yeah.
Was it you?
It was me, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm a good lycée giver.
Got to hang out with the boss this weekend.
No, you know why I do that? Because I know these guys will never let me go. They'll be like, every single time they go on to the show, they tell the audience how this guy gives lycée packet. I'm like, I can't risk that, man. I need to keep up the reputation.
You're paying for your reputation.
Damn straight. If I get one fan called Chanlock Tim, let's keep it straight, So Chinese New Year, let me ask you this. So this year, right, it was basically Chinese New Year fell on Valentine's Day also...
Which is good. Save yourself paying for a meal.
Yeah, exactly. Well, then you can't really go out after 6 p.m. anyway, so you would have won either way, right? So that's why it's not the first time it's happened. It's happened before. We've had Valentine's Day fall on Chinese New Year as well.
Didn't you do a New Year's Eve countdown at like 6 p.m.?
Yeah, dude, I did it just
or 5 p.m. When was it?
You had to count down at 5 p.m.
They did a countdown on New Year's Eve at 5 p.m.
Yeah,
because they had to kick everyone out of the restaurant at 6.
Yeah, that's happened before. So I bet you anything people are going to do something like that for Chinese New Year, and we just don't know about it. So many years ago, we actually had a Chinese New Year first day, which was actually Valentine's Day, right?
No, the third day.
The third day, right?
Yeah.
Because we did a show before.
Yeah.
Isn't that appropriate that you say something wrong on Valentine's Day?
Well, that's why we timed it where we do our say something wrong show in the afternoon, and the couples show in the evening, and the single show late night.
You guys are like marketing geniuses.
Yeah.
That sold out super easy, right?
Damn right, man. Let me tell you this: every single year, Valentine's show is the worst show ever. It's the worst show because you have all these new couples coming in, feeling all the pressure,
nervous.
Will she like it? Will he laugh? Stuff like that. Because think about it, Valentine's show, who's coming? It's only the new couples, right? New couples who need some kind of activity.
Yeah, I'm not taking my wife to a comedy show.
Exactly, not on that night as well, right?
Yeah.
So that's why. And it's really bizarre because then after that show, we have the single show, and these guys are nuts.
Yeah.
The single
Every
show
time
is
I do
insane.
the whole, I'll be the host and say, only 3 hours left.
Screw every couple. Yeah, so Chinese New Year, same thing. I think that's the one thing that we've learned to enjoy the most about Chinese New Year is that we've just taken it and made it the best for comedy as well. And people actually just like the idea of where a family, we're doing something different. It's not the same eat a meal, not the same let's go a hike and let's go shopping. They're like, we're actually and people like to come as a family, right? They'll buy 5-7 tickets at one go, and they want to sit together. They want you to pick on them. I'm like, why are you guys so nice today? This is the one time you want to be involved. Every other day, you're like, you're not famous enough for me. What's going on? So that's why I really like Chinese New Year. Everyone's spirits are so much nicer, so much higher. And everyone's just like, we just want to have a good time. It's that time of the year, stuff like that. So coming back to Chinese New Year. So Tim, do you have to give lycée or anything in general?
I give lycée to other people.
Do you?
No.
No, but not because you're not married. I know that, but I'm like in general, like the building and stuff like that. You have
No.
to do that. No. Look at Tim.
No, I'm the youngest people on the earth.
Oh yeah, right. Tim's the youngest in his family.
Oh, really?
He wins
I'm the
every
youngest in
time.
my family. Does that mean I don't have to give money to anyone? Because if that's true, I'm in.
So the another thing actually is in Chinese New Year you have these Fai Chun, which is that red sheet of paper with the 4 Chinese characters on it. So that's a very common thing people like to get, and let's say stick on their wall to get like someone to use Chinese calligraphy to write. What's your favorite Fai Chun? What's the favorite phrase you like?
Is that like a Chengyu?
No, it's just basically like 恭喜發財.
Chengyu, right?
Okay, I don't know. I don't know
龍馬
that.
精神
Yeah, that's so basically just nice happy phrases, stuff like that. So what's your favorite one that you like?
No. 身體健康 must be.
Yeah, that's good
Must
health.
be
Good health. That's the
good
easiest.
health, yeah,
Because you know what I
good
find
health.
is that every
This
single
is
time
year.
during Chinese New Year, you're kind of like obliged to say that one phrase, right? And in my head, I'm like, okay, 身體健康. I'm like ready to say it, right? But the guy before me says to me, 身體健康. I'm like, shit, I can't do that.
Damn it.
And sometimes people will say 財色兼收, maybe you get the money and have the girl,
more-
but in a bad way. The word is in a bad
Oh,
way.
yeah.
I like doing something bad with it.
Yeah.
Drew had a great bit about Gong Shi Fa Cai. He's like, I like to say this to like the people working at the convenience store. It's like, may you be rich one day.
Yeah.
Probably gonna have to steal from that register every day to get there.
Just reminding you, I wished you, but it's all up
Yeah,
to you
maybe
now.
rich one day. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but let's try that lottery ticket you sold me. You might want to try one yourself. Yeah, you have that. But yeah, Chinese New Year it's a fascinating time for me as well.
I hope you guys have a great Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, Tim. It's been awesome.